Like the Black Adam episode that they did, they were drinking Zoa, like the Rock's like energy drink.
That's funny.
And they like were kind of like advertising it, and like every time they like open the thing, they like add like reverb to like the thing, and it sounded very refreshing.
That's cool.
I want to see if I can do it.
But now we have to find a comic that was made by Half Thor.
We can just read Thor.
Oh, that's true. I don't think we've... Oh, no, we've read a Thor.
Yeah, we read a Thor.
We should do the Matt Fraction Chris Somney Thor.
Is that Chris Somney that's on that?
Yeah. And Matt Wilson.
Matt Wilson?
Yeah. It's on the shelf as I go into Atomic Comics. And that's like the kid-friendly like section, like right when you walk in.
We don't want kid-friendly books.
I do.
We want violence and blood.
Well, Chris Somney didn't want to draw that, I guess.
Well, welcome back, everybody, to the Tradewaiters podcast, the comic book club where we read a different trade paperback every single week. I'm Daniel. You're Nathan. We're brothers. We read comics.
Howdy, howdy.
Hello. You get a fresh cut, Nathan?
I did get a fresh cut.
Nice.
And happy to be here because I could have died on the way here, Daniel.
Ooh. I guess every time you get in a car, you could potentially die.
Yeah, true. But I purposely made it more dangerous because I saw the most magnificent sunset. And I was like, wow, this looks so cool. And so I wanted to take a picture of it.
While you're driving?
While I was driving. And then I was like, I think this only looks cool because of my sunglasses. So while I was driving, I was holding my phone up. And then I took off my sunglasses to put it in front of my camera. So that it would look cool. And it doesn't... It still doesn't look good, but
yeah, it looks just okay.
Yeah, it looks just okay. It looks more beautifuler in my eyes, just like how you look beautiful in my eyes.
Thank you.
So yeah, I could have died for a mid picture, but I had to try.
We got different time codes in our description. You can jump around to the different segments. We got the book, which is Wanted. We got the Back Matter Matters, the poll list. But we start with the news.
Pretty dry week.
Yeah.
I think. Nothing too exciting. So I have some other news from things outside of comic books that I'm excited about, Daniel.
Okay. Let's start with some comic stuff.
Yeah, I'll start with some comic stuff, though. You're right.
Firepower, the Robert Kirkman book, is ending at issue 30.
Robert Kirkman and Chris Somney book.
Co-created. I think Matt Wilson colors that.
He does, because he's the GOAT. There was apparently a Marvel Art Atelier program for aspiring artists hosted in Disneyland Paris. And the winner of that is drawing Spider-Man in like an official Spider-Man book in Miles Morales' Spider-Man number 11. So that's pretty cool, right?
Cool. Yeah, very cool.
It is Federica Manchin's work. It'll be this October, and he designed his own little Spidey-Man costume, and this is what it looks like.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I wasn't sure what that was.
Yeah, so I guess there's a contest. If you win, then you get to draw Spider-Man, which is pretty cool.
Pretty cool contest.
Yeah.
Is that just, so like interiors they're doing? Or just like covers, maybe?
Interiors.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty neat.
Nathan, you know the publisher Z2?
No, just Z1.
Well, do you know the EDM artist Illenium?
No.
It's pretty good. He's got a comic coming out through Z2. It's called Starfall, and it's available for pre-order currently. Z2 does like a bunch of like really random comics that like random bands like make.
Okay.
Like they'll write them and then someone will do the art.
Like the bands will write the comics.
Yeah, like Dance Gavin Dance did one.
Whoa.
I think Spirit Box did one. I don't know if you know them.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so like there's just these random comics that are...
They're trying to just make it the next Gerard Way.
They're very similar to like whatever album they just put out, like as far as like scheme of like the artwork and whatnot. And yeah, Brandon sent me that one and I was like, okay, I'll throw that in there.
Interesting.
Remember when we talked to Tyler Boss?
Yeah.
His wife works at Z2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was something that he mentioned. And I just didn't forget for some reason.
Yeah, I absolutely did. But that's a cool fun fact.
Any other comic news from you, Nathan?
No, that's all I had. I was looking today too.
For comic television, Nathan.
Yep.
We got the concepts for the What If Season 2 episodes.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're real.
They could be fake, and they're most certainly not the real titles, right?
Probably.
Let's run through them.
So we got What If Gamora Killed Thanos?
Okay, hold on. Let's rate it like this. You either rate it what if, and that's how you know you'll watch it, or as if, and you're not interested.
Okay.
Okay, start.
What if Captain Carter finds the Hydra Stomper?
Don't know who that is.
It's a continued from the season 1 episode. You remember that big
robot
thing that Steve Rogers gets in?
Steve Rogers got in it?
Yeah, because he's a little man, not a big man.
As if.
Yeah.
Don't care.
What if the Tesseract landed in Haudenosaunee Confederacy before the colonization of America? So that's
a long title.
Yeah, and that'll be the introduction of new hero Kahori.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So it'll be like it landed like in the Native American
time
time before America was colonized.
Yep. Okay, what if? I do want to see that.
What if Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne fought the Red Guardian during the 1980s?
Who cares? This
sounds like
happened.
Old people.
It actually could have happened for real.
It probably did.
It probably did. So it's like, why is this exciting?
What if?
It's hardly
just
what
like,
if. It's just like maybe this.
Yeah.
So as if.
Okay. What if Yondu delivered Star-Lord to Ego?
I like that.
That's a what if.
That's a for real what if.
Because that's like
that could have happened and then it didn't, and then it's like all this shit happened.
Yeah.
But what if it didn't? Or what if he did do it?
That episode better end with them ruling the universe, or I'll be upset.
It better end with them eating planets as like Pac-Man.
Yeah. What if Happy Hogan saved Christmas?
What if? I like that. I love a good Christmas episode.
So it's got Iron Man in parentheses. So I think that's like he happened to save Tony Stark because it was like during wintertime or whatever.
What?
You remember how Iron Man 3 was like during wintertime? His
Yep.
thing like crashing the snow.
Yep. And there's that little boy and he's like,
yeah, I think Happy Hogan will probably just show up and save the day or something.
Less excited, but also I'm still going to say what if.
But Christmas episode,
Christmas episode, I'm a sucker.
What if Wanda had grown up watching musicals instead of sitcoms?
This is tough.
So it's basically more WandaVision, but animated
but musical?
And musical, yes.
What if?
Yeah. Because she did like they basically had like their own versions of different decades of like musical or sitcoms.
Yeah.
So if they just did different popular musicals, that could be cool.
And it ends with...
They'll definitely have like Wicked in there.
It'll end with like Hamilton.
Or like
Grease is going to be in there.
The Book of Mormon.
Is that a musical?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that. Or it'll end with like... I was going to say Stomp the Yard, but that's a dancing movie. So now I can't think of another example.
What if Odin and Hela had faced Wenwu?
As if they probably did.
They probably did.
Probably have.
And what if the Avengers had fought Surtur?
Who's that?
It's like the devil guy in the beginning of the third Ragnarok. Yeah,
that's not that interesting because didn't he beat him? Or no, he just let him loose, huh?
Yeah, he might have beat him like temporarily.
I don't really care. I don't think that fight would be very interesting.
Yeah.
What's Captain America gonna do?
I'd rather like not know these. And
I'd rather
they just come out.
Drop
because they came out like week by week, right?
Yeah.
And then we just kind of heard about what could possibly be the episodes.
Yeah, and that was kind of fun too.
And those aren't even that great.
Yeah.
Considering like some of the what if stuff that we read. Like, what if the Fantastic Four were bananas? Why didn't we get to that?
Why? Yeah, where is that? We should do another what if episode because that was kind of fun.
Oh, God. Yeah, maybe something newer or like...
Or we could just do one of the what ifs that are like 3 issues or whatever. There's like the Arachnite or Moon Knight and Spider-Man mix. That one's kind of fun. Or we could do the one where it's Spider-Man, but he's the Punisher. Or we could do the one where it's Spider-Man, but he's like something else, I'm pretty sure.
But he's Venom?
But he's Venom. Yeah, the Chip Zdarsky one. We should do that.
Spider's Shadow?
Spider's Venom?
No. Is it like Spider Shadow or something?
So I have a shirt that says Venom on it. It says Venom Gymbiote. It's the one I wear to the gym. Yeah. I was looking at it in the mirror. It looks like it says money.
What? Oh.
Because the V's like a little fucked up, right?
It should be Muniv.
And I'm like, I should be like a rapper and my name would be like Inverse Venom or something. And I'm like, because then it would mean money.
Or Yenam? Yenam?
No, because
backwards would be money.
Yenam.
Yenam.
Oh.
You're like, no.
I'm
and
like,
then,
no, it's dumb.
Then I had to explain it to you. You're like, ooh.
But then once you explained how you cooked, I was like, yeah, that's good.
When people wear your merch in the mirror, they're like, what?
Holy shit, he's cooking.
Yeah, anyway. Oh, sorry. Other comic news I forgot about.
Okay.
So, Skybound, they're going to be releasing a Creepshow book. We knew about that.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a holiday special.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's cool. I think Michael Walsh is doing a Creepshow.
Horror. Yeah, I think so.
That's cool.
I think that comes out this week.
I didn't see it.
You
if it was
didn't
there.
look hard enough.
I might not have.
I got one last thing, unless you want to. What do you got?
I have non-comic book news, so.
Huh?
I have non-comic book news. So.
All right. Well, I'll start it off.
Okay.
So a PR firm has been paying Rotten Tomatoes critics for the last 5 years in order to like inflate scores.
Which ones?
Which critics? Which PR firm? Or which
critics
movies?
they know? Because I know them all by name. I want to know which critics did it. They
all
know.
of them, probably.
That's the important thing.
All of them. Well, I think it was some
All
sort
of
of.
them?
It was like if a PR firm was like attached to like some movie, they would just. They weren't like telling them to give good ratings. It was just kind of forcing them to watch the movies so that they would rate it. You know what I mean?
That's different.
Yeah, I know, but like I read the headline to get you attached, Nathan.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, is that corrupt? Yes or no?
Are they giving an honest review?
I think so.
Then it's fine.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. I don't like Rotten Tomatoes anyway. I hardly ever agree with it.
I think I'm mostly like agree with like the audience ones.
Okay, yeah.
You know, I get where the critics ones are coming from on certain movies, but that's like something that I like use to get Sarah to not watch some dumb shit. I'm like, it's only like 54 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
Audience, you know. And that's kind of how we decide to watch certain shit.
Yeah, I will
especially when she's like just scrolling random shit on Netflix or whatever. I'm like, you don't even know what that is. You just see Mark Ruffalo or whatever.
Okay, so you use it as a means to not watch something when you just don't feel like watching it.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
All right, what you got?
Daniel, Wes Anderson, you heard of him?
I sure have.
Do you know this news?
I sure do.
He's going to release 4 short films this month.
Yeah.
September 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th. All based off Roald Dahl stories. The first one, The Wonderful Story of Henley's Sugar. It's going to have Benadryl Cucumber Snatch in one of them. The Swan, September 28th. I think that has Ben Kingsley in it.
Nice.
The Rat Catcher. Don't know who's in that one. And then Poison. And I think that one's like an animated one.
Yeah, it's got like a rat in it.
Is it like Fantastic Mr. Fox kind of stop motion?
I don't think it's stop motion. It looked more like Tim Burton-y.
Okay.
Did you see the promotional like pictures for that?
No, I just saw 4 screen grabs from.
If you look at them, they look like I think it is the screen grabs, but they look like AI generated Wes Anderson things. It's like put Benedict Cumberbatch in a Wes Anderson movie, and
like
that's what they spit out. It's very bizarre.
Yeah, a little bit, huh?
Yeah, at least with like the human ones.
Yeah, the
It's
human
like,
ones
put Ben
for sure.
Kingsley in a Wes Anderson thing. You know what I mean?
in a funny little hat.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. It sounds cool.
Other big news: my dog turned 3 this week.
Nice.
She got loads of toys.
That's cool. She like her toys.
She liked them a lot. She always rips up her toys, and so we're like, we need to get her like a bunch of toys. So we spent like $60 on new toys.
Jesus.
So let's talk about the book that we read this week.
Nathan, what did we read this week?
We read Wanted by Mark Millar, J.G. Jones, and Paul Mounts.
Yeah, he does.
Paul does mount.
What did you think, Nathan?
Well, first off, I said J.G. Jones did Captain Atom. It's actually J.T. Cruel who did Captain Atom.
Oh, thank God.
And yeah, thank God. Dano, this is my least favorite thing Mark Millar's ever done.
Really?
Ever.
Least favorite ever?
Least favorite thing. I did not like this book whatsoever.
Really? I loved rereading this,
I was reading this and I was like, this is so dumb. And I kept reading it and I was like, why do we even do a podcast anymore? And I was like, why do we...
You're questioning the podcast?
No, I was like, I just like didn't want to talk about it. And I was like, why do we even do this? Like, I think I'm going to have fun talking about it actually, but...
Yeah. Seriously, the worst thing.
It feels like he's trying to do a Garth Ennis impression.
I think it's just how Irish people are.
No,
okay,
Daniel.
Okay, maybe not. He was like, I admit that this whole thing is absurdly and unnecessarily crude.
Yeah.
And he has got like no filter, but you have to remember.
It's like not even clever, no filter, you know?
True. But it's like, you have to remember that this book is all about supervillains. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These supervillains are going to be a bunch of dickheads.
Wow, the supervillains won. What a crazy idea that he did again in Marvel.
He just recycles his own ideas.
I know.
This happened before Civil War, or before Old Man Logan.
I don't give a fuck. He clearly was like, this sucked, let me do it again, but put Wolverine in there.
Yeah.
And that was way better.
I honestly really like the idea. Like, I could see it being done.
No,
like,
dude.
Really?
No. It's so dumb because
we don't even know these heroes.
Every conceivable thing that like makes this dumb, he was like, oh, we have like a machine that like fixes that. So it's like we're chill.
What do you mean? Like, so for that specific statement, what do you mean?
Like in the middle of this, Wesley's like, how come I don't remember like the superheroes that you guys all beat? And he's like, we beat them all, and then we have like a big machine, and like you guys don't remember them anymore. So it's like
they could also just have someone with like telepathy somehow do a big
I like that more.
I think I didn't look in the detail of that. I'm just like, all right, they make people forget. You know what I mean?
I know, but it's just like weird. What I do like about it though is that they're like people slightly remember still, but they just put it in comics.
Yeah, it's like
I do like how Mark Millar puts comics in all of his comics.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I like. But yeah, I think the unnecessary crudeness I just was so sick of like really early on. And the more it happened, I was like, this is so dumb. And some of the heroes are just dumb. They're designed really well. I think J.G. Jones like carries for sure.
Yeah.
Because like all of the superhero design, not the superhero designs, because they're clearly like parodies of like other heroes or whatever.
Right.
But the supervillain designs are really strong, I think.
Yeah, just the artwork
some
in
of
general.
the ideas for some of the supervillains, dumb.
Sure.
Like Clayface, but he's shit instead.
Shitface?
Shithead.
Or shithead, yeah.
Shitface would be better.
No, I thought that was really funny.
I'm like, come on, dude. Surely there's something better there.
It's like, so
this
what I have to remember is like, Mark Millar just like, he does, archetypes of things that they're not always like completely new ideas. But it's like archetypes, but it's just rude.
Sure.
Just rude versions of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I really enjoyed rereading this because I've read it before.
I also don't care about Wesley. The whole time I was like, he sucks.
Yeah.
He sucks when he's
think the
not a
situation is cooler than the character.
100%.
But like, I kind of like that he's not supposed to be this guy you just kind of root for, I guess.
But there's a way to do
like
it where even if it's a guy that I don't root for, I still like him.
Sure.
So I think he just missed the mark on that. But
what do you think about Wesley's design?
Eminem,
dude.
Bad.
Do you think that movie would be better if Eminem was Wesley?
I think it would be better if Eminem made all the funny faces that James McAvoy makes during that movie.
Yeah. Where he's like sweating in his desk and he's like trying to blow off his face.
Yeah, and he's like...
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Perfect. I love seeing those two veins that fucking come out of his fucking forehead.
Dude, he looks like his head's about to fucking explode.
Movie's way better, by the way.
I think
it's not a good movie as much as I remember it.
I know,
but
dude.
The movie's
it really
way
dropped
better
a little
than
bit.
this.
I think they're about the same, but I like them for different reasons. You know what I mean?
That's fair. I'm glad they didn't do this.
Yeah, because it would have been so hard and very expensive.
So hard
and would have been very cheesy.
And would have been very dumb.
Every decision that they made makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. In order and
that movie is like 5% in this comic.
Yeah.
Maybe 10.
Yeah.
So.
But anyway, should we just get into it?
Yeah, let's get into it. Wesley Gibson, he's a guy, he's in a dead-end job. He's in a relationship with an unfaithful girlfriend, and he's constantly cheated on, and she cheats on him with his best friend. So not a good, situation there. And he's always been harassed. But he has kind of accepted this fact. And meanwhile, his dad, who walked out while Wesley was a kid, is like the greatest assassin alive.
He's called the Killer.
Not very clever.
Good name.
Mark Millar. And he finally gets moited. And the supervillain organization he's a part of holds a funeral for him. And I do like this initial action scene because it kind of sets the stage for like what the book is. Like, it's crude. There's people fucking or whatever. And then people are like saying shit. And
I like his Spider-Man boots.
He's got Spider-Man boots, which I didn't realize at first. And I'm like, okay, so he can fly?
Yeah, they're like Venom
But then when
boots.
I was going back, I was like, oh, he's got Spider-Man boots.
With soles.
Or Venom boots, I guess.
Yeah.
And so I thought this scene was good because it's like, okay, this is what this book's about. I understand. But this funeral scene where he tries to like introduce a bunch of characters all at once is not great because I think it kind of dilutes the value of the people that are like actually important.
How many characters do you need to know from this scene?
Like 2.
I would say even one.
But it starts with Imp, who I don't care about.
Sure.
Do you even know who that is?
I think that's like
It's the blue one.
Mr. Mixes Pitalik of this universe.
No, it's just yeah, okay, kind of, yeah. But like,
well, yeah, like it's
let me
a
read
lot
you
of,
how
a lot
this
of things
starts.
are implied, right? You have
Sure.
to kind of look at them and be like, all right, that's like this guy of this universe.
Yeah.
And these are obviously his coworkers because they all look like freaks.
I get that.
And then we just are talking to the professor or hearing the professor talk, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't need like, because what Marvel will do in an event is kind of like spoon feed you all the people that you might not know, and I don't need that in this. I don't want like this extra.
But you get that in this.
I don't want this extra. Sometimes not like everybody's.
Let me read you
explained.
like just like the first part.
Okay.
And it sounds so unnatural because he's trying really hard to use everybody's names in like just this first page. And he's like, so I'm told, Imp, that they saw a shot that was fired from like 2 cities away. And then the next guy was like, sucker, Control could keep the second coming of Jesus Christ out of the newspapers if they wanted to, which is a reference to American Jesus, I think, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, I like that.
And then it's like, what about the Fox? How's she taking this? And then it's like, oh, you mean that crazy bitch over there? And then like, where does the professor had to, like, this is all on the same page. And it was like, and it's like, you think Mr. Rictus was behind all of this? Which that's fine. Whatever.
I don't think that's a hard page to like understand.
It's not, but I think they also mentioned shithead. So that's one in there.
Yeah.
Which they re-mention him later and explain his shit. Mm-hmm. And how he's a shit.
They do explain his shit.
His shit and how he is a shit. And so it's like, we don't need all this all at once. And I was really annoyed reading it. But anyway, Wesley's life changes when the Fox meets Wesley at like a sandwich shop or something. And then she shoots up everybody in the shop, and then takes Wesley, and she's like, let me explain to you that the world is run by a villain organization called the Fraternity. Good name.
Yeah.
And his dad was the best assassin. And so they pretty much just show Wesley that he also has like the assassin chops.
Yeah, the killer blood or whatever.
And like there is a line that I laughed at. I can't remember what page it's on, but I wrote it down. The only difference between a dream and a nightmare is how big your balls are, bitch.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's fucking okay. I like that.
I feel like Fox was like kind of designed after like Halle Berry and like her Catwoman shit.
Yeah.
Because that's all I see in this.
That's all I see too. Weird how she was whitewashed, right? To like Angelina Jolie. Is that what it was?
I don't think Angelina Jolie is like white.
But like she's not black.
Sure.
And like I don't really think it matters too much.
Yeah.
Because like people aren't going to be like, well, I wanted to see the Fox, it's Halle Berry or whatever. But it was a weird change. But I guess they also made the professor like Morgan Freeman, so it like balances out. Is that how that works?
Sure. Yeah. And then they had like Common, who's like the gun maker and
Common
stuff.
was cool in that movie.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, it's Common.
I totally forgot he was in that.
Yeah, me too. I forget every movie.
Was like Common was acting back then?
Yeah, I forget every movie Common was in. But he's really good.
German and Slovak.
I see that.
So
still white.
yeah.
But yeah, I think it evens out. Plus they have Common.
But spicy white.
Spicy white. Yeah, this is true. This is true. Yeah, I just wrote down, why does Wesley look like Eminem? He's like wearing a beanie and shit, like Marshall Mathers kind of would.
He's like blonde.
He's blonde, blue eyes,
that was
buzzed
like,
head, and I'm like, this is very jarring.
Yeah, if like they just didn't do that, I feel like my attention would be lost a little, because I just keep.
Do you think it's on purpose?
I keep looking at these panels. I'm like, that looks just like fucking Eminem.
That is fucking Eminem. Like every single time I look, I'm like, that's Eminem.
Yeah.
Like I could pull up. Let me find the next thing I see him in. Like this is. Tell me that's not Eminem.
No, it is. I can't tell you otherwise.
You can't tell me that.
It'd be so funny just to see Eminem in this like assassin movie.
Oh, imagine they did cast him. Do you think they tried? Probably
Maybe,
not. James McAvoy's really good in it.
That was like the first thing I've seen him in.
Yeah, me too.
And so.
And like he's so good. I think he's the top 3 actor for me.
Yeah, it's believable.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, isn't he like Irish or something? Like I couldn't like.
Scottish?
Yeah, Scottish.
Yeah.
Because like his American like voice or like accent is really good. He's got an American voice.
So parts of this are still kind of similar to the movie. Like, the fox just kind of picks him up. There's even a couple lines where like the beginning panel is like his girlfriend getting fucked by his best friend. Mm-hmm. That is the thing that happens. But there's also a line where he's like, my girlfriend's getting fucked over that IKEA table I picked up at a really good price. That's like a bar for bar like line in there.
There's a couple of those, which I can appreciate.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That line in particular I think is pretty funny.
But it was like...
he shoots like the wings off the flies, which is like, would never happen.
Probably
and
not.
like, it's comic book logic, whatever, but I think it would still have the same effect if he just shoots a fly. And
it seems equally as hard.
Make it like across the room if you need to, so where you can like barely see it, Like
yeah, the movie's like right in front of him.
Yeah.
It's like point blank.
Yeah, it's like it would be obliterated. So
they have this like security guard at this like fraternity place, and his name's Fuckwit, and he is like the Bizarro of this universe. Oh, that's funny.
I do like his origin because he was cloned by who was the Superman of this, but the clone like science isn't there yet, and so he's just like kind of dumb.
Yeah, and he's like, it's the same rules as like Bizarro or whatever.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, that was issue 1. Issue 2, Wesley has to decide to continue his current shitty life or adopt the villain life and be super rich. So he says, fuck you to his boss. He like throws papers up in the air and then he leaves. And then he starts his training at the fraternity. He's like shooting corpses, working in a slaughterhouse, and he's like just getting beaten regularly, which leads to his actual first kill.
And he describes killing as eating Pringles.
Yeah. And he's like, once you do one, oh man, you just
keep going. You can't stop.
More. Good comparison. Wesley's kind of racist as well.
I think everyone's like a little racist.
I think everyone's a little racist, but there's a line in here where he says that he gets harassed by every Spike Lee extra. And I'm like, come on.
I was like,
I'm like, Jesus Christ. So he then moves on to killing innocent people in public, people he knows from before, and including his best friend who was fucking his girlfriend. And then he dumps his girlfriend. And then Wesley also gets his dad's old costume to officially become the killer.
What was so they have this thing to where like anything they do will be like kept from the news, and like the police will like stay off their backs and shit like that.
They own the police and the politics, and the fraternity
and the news
will cover up shit.
Yeah.
I assume they do like a Men in Black type thing because there's some hectic shit happening.
And a lot of witnesses.
Of witnesses. Cars are getting like flipped over and shit. People's family are like getting gunned down.
Yeah.
So like I assume it's like some Men in Black shit, but I don't know because he doesn't explain it. He's like, yeah, the fraternity will handle it.
I kind of like that.
I don't
want like just some extra. I never want like extra context or extra.
To be fair, I'd probably complain about whatever
exposition
he put in there.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
You're just going to complain regardless.
Yeah, I'm just going to complain like, what is this, Men in Black? So he's just killing people he doesn't like now.
Yeah.
He killed a girl that said no to a movie with him from like years ago, which is some incel shit.
Yeah, he kills some dude that just like sits outside his building. Yeah, that doesn't really do anything.
What's the deal with that? His life's already kind of hard. If you're a real villain, you just leave him alone.
Yeah.
So Mr. Rictus, who's the supervillain leader of Australia, because there's like different regions of supervillainy happening. They all collaborate, but there's leaders of the different areas, I guess. He introduces himself and is like, hey, Wesley, you want to work for me? Think about it. And then he leaves. And then the professor talks about how there used to be a bunch of superheroes, but then the supervillains teamed up and beat them in a crisis event. And then he wiped everyone's minds with a machine.
Yep.
And that's how he explains everything. I like that they call it a crisis event.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty fun. It seems weird that supervillains would just keep civilization going.
Sure.
They're like, let's take over and act like nothing happened.
Controlled like the electric grids or like, world governments and stuff like that. I guess they could have, but like
they do.
That sounds like a lot of it's not like
but they
Rictus was like the president of something.
Yeah, no, he's not.
I think it's probably easier just to like tell people what to do.
Yeah.
Because they're also trying to stay out of like the spotlight.
They are, which is weird. And they give a reason later. They give a reason later, and I'm like, that's not a good reason.
What was the reason?
It's so that the superheroes of the multiverse don't come after them.
Valid.
Not valid. Why would they care?
Why does Superman care about other Earths?
He doesn't really, unless it affects his.
Exactly.
And so if the supervillains just take over Earth, you're fine.
Yeah.
So that's what I have a problem with.
My least favorite page in this, it's not like I dislike the art or anything, but like when he's getting like inducted into like the fraternity or whatever, he has to like wear his suit thing, like his dad's suit.
Yeah.
Which looks kind of ridiculous. It looks like this like diving suit kind of thing with goggles.
I think it's kind of cool.
It's like kind of cool, I guess. I like
it with the mask.
I like how it
thing.
looks. Yeah, with the mask.
When his face is showing, he looks like a dork.
Because like there's like a detail in this that I read about where like he's only supposed to wear it for this inductee thing, and then that's it. But he wears it for like the rest of the book.
Yeah, he likes it,
I guess.
He's like, actually, I can fuck with this.
And the thing I don't like about this is that like the dialogue in like the captions, and he's like, I look so damn good in my dad's old spandex. So fucking handsome. And I'm like, what the fuck?
You're a psycho.
No one thinks like that.
No one ever. Yeah.
He's like, I'm so fucking handsome.
So
you know what I mean?
I'm wearing my dad's shit.
Yeah.
His spandex.
Yeah. He's like suddenly so cocky when he was like,
if I was chocolate, I swear I'd eat myself right now.
Yeah. I was going to say that next.
Are you kidding me?
I was like, who says that ever?
Yeah. It's dumb. Also, there's a Mr. Freeze in the background. I just realized. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. Like verbatim.
Yeah.
And like a Ghost Rider. Right next to him.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, yeah.
It's a skull on fire.
Yeah, but like people do that now.
Yeah, easy.
All right, issue 3.
Issue 3.
Wesley is put on a mission in Parallel 2, which is like the multiverse Earth, but heroes are still alive, but it's like 20 years later too. And he like narrowly escapes, and he went there so that he could take a kryptonite condom thing that the professor wanted as a gift. Okay. It's kryptonite. Sure. Why was it made into latex? It's just dumb.
So it
doesn't make any sense.
So I think it's a condom.
He's trying to be edgy, very hard, and it was made very. I think right here I was like, this is just come on.
Because what if you send
make it like anal beads or something like more believable that like a rock could be. I don't believe that a rock that's supposed to be kryptonite could be made into a condom.
Sure. Maybe it's like, how maybe it's like in the lube that's on it. It's like crushed into like a powder almost.
Maybe. But
I think how that could be used is like, send a hooker to Superman. He puts the kryptonite rubber on.
He's given it.
And then he's under target, gets assassinated. Boom.
What if Hooker brings
condom? Yeah.
Oh, that's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I don't think...
Or they just sneak it into his wallet or something.
He's like, man, I'm feeling weird today.
They put it right in front at like a gas station or like a little vending machine.
Or like he's at some random event and they're throwing condoms out like in Warped Tour. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
That was weird.
That was crazy. And we were like, oh my God, they're free.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. So Wesley starts to hear rumors that the Fox might have killed his father. Then there's like this weird supervillain networking event thing where all the villains across the world and stuff network, and Wesley learns about all the different villains. This is where he learns about Shithead and some of the other people. All the region leaders have like an annual meeting, and they're like, yeah, profits are pretty good, but Rictus wants to go public and just take over everything because it makes sense. And he wants to be worshipped, but everyone else is worried about multiverse superheroes coming in to stop them. Again, not a good reason to just like stay in hiding and create all these like logistical problems probably. Also, Clayface but shit is very lazy.
Yeah. Actually, when you think about it, when they go to that like parallel universe, that's like 20 years in the future.
Yeah.
They basically go to like Kingdom Come. If you think about it.
See, that would have been cooler if they leaned into that a little bit more.
Yeah. But they didn't.
Like, I want to see the Spectre and then like some old like Shazam looking dude, or Shazam looked normal, but some old Superman looking dude. I don't know.
You know that Mark Millar, his stuff is only like 5-6 issues. He's the king of miniseries, you know? And so it's like, I don't think this needs to be longer because the concept could probably be wrapped up in 2 issues. Like if you read the first and last issue,
this could have been a red.
You're probably good.
And it would have been much better.
It could have been a red.
3 issues, get me out of there, you know?
But like, it's almost like you're still like pulled in by how good this art is. It's like hard to be mad at it for me.
Yeah, true. Because, yeah, and I think the strength of it is that like you have all these supervillains, even though Shithead is lazy. I like everybody else. I think Rictus, by the way, is a really good design.
Super cool. He looks so evil.
He looks so evil. He's got no lips. His teeth are always showing.
Yeah.
You know, he's got the red things, the red goggles, whatever you want to call them. Like everybody else, like you could see, it's fun to pick apart where like, oh, he might have taken some inspiration from like this supervillain or whatever.
Yeah.
Or you just see some shit that's completely new. And you're like, that's pretty cool too. Mm-hmm. So I really like that aspect. Like there's this like Norse guy that you see when he first gets to the event. And I'm like, look at his sweet mustache. That must have been fun.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. So they all take a vote and the vote doesn't go the way of Mr. Rictus. But later we see the professor, the boss of Wesley. He gets suffocated by a shithead guy. And Rictus has begun his takeover. Shithead says death by dysentery when he gets the professor.
Mm-hmm.
Does he say that every time?
I hope so.
It seems like it'd get old.
Not for him.
I'm like, surely you're a professional and you've done this before. Do you say that shit every time?
Why does he have teeth?
Ooh, good question.
And I feel like for this kind of character, I don't think you need a nose. And if you can like...
the nose...
If you can shapeshift, just don't have a nose.
Just don't have... I don't think you want to smell yourself. It'd be funny if like he still smelled like shit, like even if he shapeshifted.
Like that's how you can tell.
Yeah, that's how you can tell. Like... Oh my god!
Like, wait a minute.
That would be more interesting to me.
Onions, you know, or some shit.
Issue 4. There's a history lesson on like the first supervillain organization, which is just a bunch of naked guys.
Yeah.
Very Garth Ennis. Wesley and Fox are talking about how Wesley doesn't just always want to mercilessly kill and rape everybody all the time, and the Fox is like, "That's okay, you don't have to." Also, I didn't kill your dad.
And so they're fucking, right?
They're fucking.
But she used to...
Fuck his dad.
Fuck his dad. He's Eskimo Bros with his dad?
Weird.
Legendary.
Some say weird. Some say legendary.
Yeah.
No, that's weird.
Yeah, pretty weird.
But...
It's like good for your dad, and then it's like...
But like, what's up with her psyche as well?
I don't know.
She's comparing who dicks better.
She probably... In her head, yeah.
Yeah.
Because like... I'm sure she's probably attracted to like his skill. Like his dad's skill.
Yeah.
You know?
But maybe not his dick.
This one might be completely physical, you know?
Maybe. Because he looks like Eminem.
Yeah.
I don't think I wrote this like verbatim, but there's a line that essentially says from Fox, she's like, you don't have to murder and rape all the times. Sometimes you can just watch TV.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this book is awful.
They really just throw like rape in there a lot. Which,
they do.
Like I'm like,
which like at the time, sure, it's probably fine.
Yeah, I guess villains
they are
do that sort of
well.
thing, especially if there's no consequences.
Yeah.
Like that.
They're
That's
just
something
like,
that happened a lot.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, who do I feel like doing this to today?
Yeah.
Like, it's so casual. But yeah, they are villains, so it's like, whatever.
So at this point, they're no longer under like fraternity protection because
Rictus is
taking over.
Yeah. So they start taking over. They take out the main guys of the fraternity, and the sucker takes the best people's powers because that's his deal. He's like a parasite, and he like takes people's powers, and I think they die after. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
They then go after Fox and Wesley, but they managed to kill the squad that was sent after them, except for Shithead. But they have some bleach, so they're able to probably deal with him. So
he shithead like or shithead
Shithead
shithead like
Shitface is way better, just to be clear.
He just explains that their whole like motivation is like they just want to like fuck up the world.
Yeah,
you know
they did.
That's dumb. It is dumb. It's dumb. Like they definitely could have come out with something more.
Also, the shitman or shithead says that his guys are going to empty their clips into Fox's body, and not to be that guy, but those are magazines, not clips, because they're using guns. and not M1 Garands, which are the ones that use clips.
Oh,
Yeah.
got him.
Get your fucking gun shit right, Mark Miller, the
Play
guy that
some
lives
Modern
in
Warfare,
Scotland.
dude.
Yeah. I do like this kid that they left alive after murdering his parents. Because they're like, I want someone to fight in 18 years. And I'm like, that's kind of funny, actually. But yeah, that's...
You just purposely being someone's origin story?
Yeah. He was like, I just made a Batman right there. So
they try to get information out of Shithead and try and figure out like who killed his dad, because that's kind of like a mystery throughout this whole thing.
Yeah.
And they said that he didn't know, and he doesn't think that they did it.
He thinks the professor probably did it, maybe.
Yeah. And so that's still an ongoing mystery.
Yeah. So the villains are issue 5. The villains are trying to find Wesley and Fox. So they're like, let's lock down the city so they can't leave. But they're not trying to escape. They got guns and shit right now.
Yeah. They got a minigun.
Meanwhile, Rictus has all the cool toys of the professor and is about to start his invasion on like the world. But Wesley and Fox are starting to like snipe down villains like one by one.
So Rictus gets on like a Zoom call with the other people in like the 5 or whatever,
big
like
corny.
The big guys in the frat.
Are they all the frat, or is
they're all the fraternity, but there's different like regions.
What do they call the US one? America frat.
Probably not.
What if they gave him like different Greek symbols, like this is Alpha Chi?
So when he's on the Zoom call, he's using this robotic octopus that they just have there that was turned off and now it's turned on.
Is that supposed to be like the Watchmen?
Ooh, no, I'm not looking that deep.
Yeah.
But he chooses to kill like people who've been portraying superheroes in like movies and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think it's implied that this is like Adam West.
I think so too.
And the other guy?
Yeah, it's not done very well, but after he kills him, Rictus is like, holy whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess it was Adam West. Because like it wasn't done very well.
Holy, 2 idiots getting eaten by an octopus. Got him. When they're on this Zoom call, the dialogue is a little corny here too, because the one from like the Asian one, he's like, wait, I just realized you have all the professor's weapons now. Oh shit. And he like says that out loud. And I'm like, well, yeah, but also if he didn't
connect that,
he'd remember it.
He would
be
remember
like,
oh yeah. And so it's like, and then Revictus is like, that's right, I do have this. So it's like, fucking whatever. Also, there's a dude with a swastika on his head. Feels very Ennis or Frank Miller. So it really feels like he's trying to do his impression of those people.
Sure.
Like that's his whole supervillain costume. It's just like he's wearing a trench coat.
Do you remember the Fourth Reich? Who wrote that?
The Fifth Reich? Or no, Fourth Reich.
Fourth Reich?
Yeah, Fourth Reich. I do like that.
It's a whole team.
Yeah, but that's fun. Anyway, so they get back to the fraternity, Fox and Wesley, and they're confronted by all the supervillains that are left. Wesley shoots most of them down, and he deflects a bullet with his sword or something, and it goes into Rictus's neck. And then he dies, I think, and then boom, Wesley's dad is there. Big shocker.
I thought that was a big shock.
It is a big shock, but it's like, boom, here's your dad. And it's like, he just...
Could you not have helped at all?
Yeah, I know. He killed like 40 guys here. And like, again, credit to J.G. Jones, because he's like damn good at creating some unique character designs, because there's 40 people in this group, and everyone here pretty cool looking.
This like whole fight scene, I think, should have been like a whole issue or two.
That's what I'm saying, because he's great at action.
Because it's done in like 2 pages.
It is.
Which is a little unsatisfying.
I like this effect that he does where Wesley shoots like multiple bullets in the air, but we see like the muzzle flash kind of like frozen in space to create like contexts.
Pretty cool.
For like how fast he's moving, how fast he's shooting. And I'm like, this is so good. And then it's over in 2 pages. And I'm like, aha, I wish there was more of that. Instead of
just go back to the pages.
People being like, oh no, you have all the weapons now. Oh shit. And then, oh no, you're killing Adam West Batman in this universe.
Yeah.
So weird. But yeah, Wesley's dad's there and he's like, hey son, it's me.
Hey sport.
He looks like he was based off of somebody, but I can't put my finger on it.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Do you think so?
There's like a variant cover that looks just like Tommy Lee Jones, but like that guy, maybe like the dude from like The Godfather or something.
I guess Tommy Lee Jones works. Maybe the Godfather guy too.
No one I'm super familiar with. What if it's just based off of like Henry Winkler or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Just like a goofy guy. But he's like the most savage killer in the world.
Yep. So last issue, Wesley's like, I don't believe you. You're not my dad. And then Fox is like, he is, for real. And so then they explain it over dinner how the murder of Wesley's dad was faked and there was no confirmed body in the coffin at the funeral. And his dad and his mom met at the Masquerade Club, which is like a club for supervillains, and they fucked a lot, and then they had Wesley. But then his mom didn't want to be a supervillain anymore, so her mind was wiped after the hero crisis thing, and Wesley's dad just disappeared.
Made it seem like she just happened to be there, but dressed up, but wasn't actually like a villain.
I assume she was a villain because there's a lot of villains there.
Or were they just people dressed up?
They could have just been people dressed up. I don't know. But
isn't that what all villains
this
are?
art change, so cool.
Very cool. I love the flashback pages.
Yeah, the flashback. I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Like the artwork's done so well. The coloring changes to like reflect the mood. The shading that I don't even know if this is still J.G. Jones because it's such a drastic change.
No, hold on.
Is it somebody else?
Flashback sequences by Dick Gory, Giordano.
Love me some Giordano. Love me some Dick Glory.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, this is like all really fun. Like it feels like, you know, a more noir version of like Darwin Cook maybe.
Yeah,
and
a little bit maybe like Dave Gibbons.
Yeah, it's like a mix between those two.
Yeah.
And so I was like, this is cool. I like that they did this because I think it's really effective. So Wesley's dad has always like kept an eye on Wesley throughout his life. He's like sneaking in his room while he's sleeping, rubbing his head, doing some weird shit. Then he faked his death so that Wesley would grow up to be the next best assassin with the fraternity. And now he wants Wesley to be the man to kill him. And he's like, I'm growing old. I can't stand not being the best. So I need you to kill me.
This looks like a lot like Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah. Okay. This is where I see it. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
And so after some convincing, Wesley kills him at his gravestone. And the scene's whatever. Like his motivation's whatever. It's a very complex plan.
Yeah, it's complex and
like
unnecessary.
He could have died at any moment, and he would have been like, "Well, fuck, what do I do now?"
I think I like get it enough.
I get it enough, and it's fine. But what I do like is how this whole scene where they're like trying to convince Wesley to like shoot him, like over the course of like 3 or 4 pages, like sunrise is happening, which I think is a pretty cool like coloring effect.
Yeah,
because it shows like how long they're like trying to convince him to like do this thing pretty much, and like I just like the mood change. I think it's pretty cool. And then the book closes by Wesley and Fox. Then they just go off to become part of the main 5 villains of the fraternity, and that's it. But there's like a weird little fake out in the middle there where he's like, actually, I don't like this. I'm going to go back to my shitty girlfriend. And then Fox is like, are you serious? And he's like, nah, I like this actually. Also, bad last page.
Yeah.
He's like, basically just saying he's gonna fuck us in the ass, like the reader.
Yeah, and he's like roasting the audience.
He's roasting
like,
the audience.
The
he's like, your life fucking sucks, doesn't it? You've got fucking picked up this comic book to be fucking escapism, and now I'm gonna fuck you in the ass. It's very. And I was like, I get what he's going for, but who cares? I don't care about this guy. I don't care about Eminem in this universe. So that's the end.
There's like a little detail in that one where like I guess his mom was kind of making him like a pacifist, like without. It was like a subconscious kind of decision. I don't know. She probably felt before that her son would grow up to be very violent.
Oh yeah.
And so like when her memory was erased, she still kind of subconsciously was trying to keep him from fighting and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so her dad was just mad that he became this big wuss. And so in like the plan of like getting his son to kill him, he's also preparing him for like the rest of his life.
Yeah.
By being like the killer too or whatever.
And he like switches up pretty fast where he's like, oh my God, Dad, I love you.
Yeah.
After he was like, I gave you that teddy bear that one time in your 18 years of life or whatever.
Yeah, that one that just magically appeared in your room.
Yeah. And he's like, oh my God, I love you.
You do love me. You spent $8 on this thing.
For my 20-something years of living.
Yeah.
So, whatever. Let's go to Back Matter Matters.
Back Matter Matters. The wanted dossier.
Yeah. Okay. So for how much of this book I didn't like, I really enjoy this back matter. There's like an afterword by Mark Millar. That's pretty typical. But the dossier, he had like a bunch of different artists do like the character designs or like illustrate some of the different characters. And I think that was pretty cool. So there's like Brian Michael Bendis did one. Yeah. Which I think was pretty fun.
Fucking first one, John Romita Jr.
Yeah, John Romita Jr., Daniel.
JR. With the fucking
I'm glad that he did
bone.
this one and not like any of the other cooler ones, you know, but Mark Silvestri, you know, Legend does pretty good.
Yeah, it is great.
Dave Johnson does a really cool professor.
That is fun.
Tim Bradstreet doing the original killer.
Yeah, dude, look at that. That's like just a picture of
Tommy Lee
Jones.
Yeah. There is Bachalo does Imp and Deadly Nightshade. His style is so cool. Bill Sienkiewicz does Shithead. Which this one's really cool because it's like the thinking man pose, but it's actually he's actually on a toilet. Yeah. There's like a funny little irony there. Like how's Bill Sienkiewicz the most creative person to use fucking shithead in the book where he's not even a part of?
I wonder how that conversation went
with Bill Sienkiewicz.
It's like, I know you haven't read this, but can you draw this this poopy man?
He's like a man made of poop
clay face, but it's
and then
it's
he fucking kills it. You know?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Frank Quitely does Fuckwit.
That seemed to fit pretty well.
Yeah, that's a cool one. Joe Quesada does Sucker. That's a cool one. Jay Lee on Mr. Rictus. That's also a sick one. Then there's a typical like cover gallery for like, I think these are like the second printings or the original printings.
Cover Bs, just variants.
Yeah. So some pretty cool stuff here. There's Death Row variants, convention variants. And then we also get some character designs, which is pretty cool. We love seeing that. And then we get actual like pages and revisions to pages with commentary. And this is a really cool thing that I don't think we really see that much, but there's like a lot of revisions to like different panels in this book.
That's good.
And one of which Millar, like, he didn't like the pacing of how like a panel leads to the next page. So he paid J.G. Jones like out of pocket to change it because it worked better for the story. And I was like, that's kind of a cool story.
That's crazy.
Yeah. There's coloring notes and lettering notes, which is pretty interesting because that's like a whole part of the process you like rarely ever see. So I really appreciate that kind of effort. And then the good old script to page. You see the words, you see the page. Pretty cool. And then the good old Miller World checklist. And this is how I realized that this is my least favorite one. Because I looked at all these and I'm like, I like those way better than this.
Nathan, if you think you didn't like this one,
which one's worse? MPH?
Nemesis. MPH is kind of fun. It's like, it's very like lighthearted and very like almost childish in a way.
I really feel like
very
Nemesis YA would be better because of Steve
yeah, he gets the top shelf artists, but
sometimes he just misses.
I read it like 2 months ago, dude. I'm telling you,
it's worse.
Okay.
It seems like the idea is
the idea is there. It's always there, but just like the execution, yeah. Just Nemesis, it was just like so one dimensional.
Yeah,
and it's just like kind of boring.
Well, this was pretty one dimensional.
There's
a hint of a second dimension, maybe.
Yeah, I like this much more. This is like,
how much of these? Which ones haven't you read? I haven't read Starlight.
From this list, I haven't read Chrononauts.
Have you read Huck? Oh, Huck's. I like
Starlight,
Huck.
Superior, but that's it. So there's just 4 on here.
I haven't read MPH, Starlight, Jupiter Circle, Super Crooks, Superior, Nemesis, and that's it. So like half of these.
That's it.
And that's it.
Only a few, just what I said, but more.
Yeah. So what would you rate this book, Daniel? I would rate this, Daniel.
What do you rate, Nathan?
A tall from Starbucks.
Tall what?
You know, I normally get a cold brew, but sometimes they're out of cold brew. So I just get a regular iced coffee with milk instead. And that's what this book is.
I know exactly what you feel based off of that.
And it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go get me like a thing. And it's like, oh fuck. It's not what I thought it was going to be, you know? So that's what this is. Or I order a cold brew and they get the order wrong and I just drink it anyway. Because it feels like I know what I'm ordering, you know, some good old Mark Millar book. Okay. He's pretty reliable. Probably one of the best in the biz. He does have like the 2 highest selling trades of all time.
Yeah.
And like, they just got the order wrong. So that's what I would rate this.
I rate it like I love it, right? It's going to be like this almost like homemade kind of Rocky Road, right? Has like chocolate chips in it. But because
Does Rocky Road have chocolate chips?
no, I'm adding chocolate chips.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But because you're adding chocolate chips and the ice cream's so cold, it makes like the chocolate chips kind of hard.
Oh.
So when you get the chocolate chip pieces, you're just like, you know,
like,
and you
ooh,
kind of have to crunch on them. There's a couple hard things you have to really bite through.
Okay.
But the rest of it's pretty enjoyable.
Okay.
You know? So yeah.
like a little rocky in some areas.
So I think what I liked about like the process I did about reading it is I watched the movie first, obviously, a couple years, 10 years later or whatever, I get into comics and then I read it and I'm like, what the fuck? This is so different. So I think like kind of the shock value of how different it is adds to it because you're like, wow, this is so
Like, how do they get to the movie?
Yeah. I'm like, and then just rereading it, just kind of remembering all the funny stuff in it or the fun stuff in it was just like an enjoyable experience for me.
So Wanted like stopped here until Big Game, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So should we talk about the movie?
Movie's pretty fun, pretty cheesy.
I think, yeah.
But they got some star power behind it.
Yeah.
I don't
Sarah's
know.
like, this is a weird cast. I'm like, this is a fucking
Isn't it?
banger cast, dude.
It is a banger.
They got some heavy hitters, dude.
Yeah, so they like, I don't even know if James McAvoy was big at the time, but Morgan Freeman surely
No.
was. Angelina
Yeah.
Jolie surely was.
Those are
Common's
two-
common always.
Yeah.
I feel like he's maintained the same level of fame.
I think that was the first thing I saw Chris Pratt in too,
I think that was like one of his first movies.
probably. And so it's always cool, like going back, like because of how these guys are now.
Yeah.
So a big thing with this is like, it's like an assassination group and they get targets from like this textile mill and it's like threads that they have to count.
And it's like a Morse code thing.
And it's all decided by fate, you know? And so I was like, I think I remember liking that back when it came out, but here I'm like,
this is
what the
strange.
fuck? Yeah. So I'm just kind of like rolling with it.
I like the butcher guy.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's cool and he scares me because I don't like the idea of being stabbed.
Yeah, and he cuts them
And he
up a lot.
cuts people. I like the cum bath that he's in, and it like heals you.
It's more like wax, but yeah.
I like the first time he's in it because it's like all over his face, and he's like, "Whoa," and then like when he comes out, he looks like a glazed donut.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what a weird,
When you take that first bite and it like breaks up.
Yeah, that's it looks like James McAvoy.
Yeah. His I think like the scene with his dad being assassinated is really cool. Because
Yeah.
he's got like super speed for some reason.
He's got
kind of
super speed, and then you see like the bullet go back through his head and go back like 2 cities over or whatever.
that was cool. And when he
that
like
was
jumps
fun.
out of the glass, I just remember that from like the trailer. That was like a big thing. And it looks super dumb,
Very
but like
dumb.
it's so cool.
Also, like the glass shattering effect is a little bit weird because it keeps the contour of like the person for like a little bit too long.
I kind of like that though.
Do you know what I'm talking about though?
Yeah, yeah.
Like they jump through the glass and it like perfectly shapes like around them and then it just like blows away.
Yeah.
I like the idea of he's not having panic attacks. His heart's just moving a lot faster, which means that he's slowing down time from his perspective.
And it's like adrenaline's going like super fast.
But he's just been taking drugs the whole time. And I'm like, that's an interesting idea.
Yeah. And then the big thing with this movie was just like that they added was that the thing that they're able to do is like curve bullets and stuff, which is like
That was
not really a thing.
Not really a thing.
but really cool that they use. They do it a lot.
Very fun, corny action movie thing.
Yeah, like they're shooting each other's bullets and stuff.
It's like part of training.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're shooting each other's bullets. I'm like, come on.
I'm like, no, this is so sick.
I remember that part specifically, like when the train and they curve the bullet around the person that hits you. And I'm like, I love this.
But like, I remember when that movie came out, and then I tried so hard to try and curve like Nerf bullets. You know,
It makes so much sense.
I'm like, I could do this, but never. It always just went straight.
If you just flick it enough, yeah, it just goes straight and hits the floor. Like,
Yeah.
you're not doing anything.
Terrible. Another cool, like car scene, like action scene in this, very similar to like the red one, where like the car is like spinning and he's like crouched down because he's scared, but the door opens and he just gets in
Yeah,
it.
I know.
I was like, that would break your fucking
Dude,
legs.
his ankles hurt so bad.
Destroyed. Yeah. And so,
That was pretty funny. I was like,
and I think that might have been done like practically because it looked really good.
Probably, yeah.
Obviously, like some
because you can tell when there's special effects in this movie.
Yeah,
they put a bunch of bombs on some rats.
Yeah, I kind of missed like the instructions on that one, but it made sense and came back around.
Yeah, he just does a rat catcher, except they all explode.
So like he was mixing like some weird bomb chemical with their
peanut
blood? Butter.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it was like a part of their system, and then
they blew
either
up.
he activates it with something, or one of the rats blows up, and the rest of them blow up because of that, in like a chain reaction.
Okay.
But yeah, he mixes some sort of material with peanut butter. He like yells a lot in like a really funny way. Did you notice that?
Yeah, it's like it's specific to just this movie.
Just this movie.
He doesn't yell like that.
He yells like that in something else. It might be like a first class thing. Okay. I don't know.
So they kind of like do some name drops. Like one of the first people that cross, like the bad guy assassinates, they bring the body in. They're like, oh, they killed Rictus or whatever. And he's like, he's taking us down one by one, you know? And so there's like a couple of those things just kind of.
Was his dad Rictus in this?
No, his dad's like some new character.
Oh, okay.
Because I guess Rictus was like a part of the fraternity.
Yeah.
And he got killed.
Oh, okay.
I just wrote train.
Train scenes were cool.
Train scene, yeah. I totally forgot about that one where like with the bridge and stuff.
No, I like that
like
one.
that whole scene. I like totally forgot about.
I like how Angelina Jolie like crumbles to go under the bridge, and she does that weird shit with her legs, and I'm like, you're gonna break something.
Yeah, I'm like, that's not good for your knees.
Yeah,
dude.
just lay down normally.
You're gonna tear your meniscus.
I know they were trying to do like something cool and like flexible or whatever, but I'm like, just lay down.
I didn't realize how thin she was in this. Like her arms are like
very
little
thin.
twigs.
Yeah.
And there's a big twist in this, Nathan.
What's the big twist, Daniel?
The big twist is that Cross was his dad this whole time. And
I thought Rictus was going to be his dad in this because I'd never heard the comic. So.
No, because they made it seem like the other guy was his dad, but that wasn't the case. But Cross was his dad this whole time, and they wanted to train him up because he knew his dad wouldn't kill him. And so it'd be easier for him to kill his dad or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's a pretty good twist.
Pretty good twist.
That's a good.
But his dad
could
just like send him a text or something if he's like trying to talk to him.
Yeah. And his dad still tried to shoot him a couple times before that.
Like if those bullets that they were curving around the lady didn't connect, he could have killed him.
Curving around the bullet.
Remember they're in the train, there's a lady and she's like, oh my God, don't shoot me. And so they curve the bullet around her and they still hit each other. Mm-hmm. If any of those where the bullets hit each other, because they shoot like, there's only two I think you see in slow motion, but they shoot at each other like 10 times, and you see them all hit each other.
Yeah,
and it's like you could have killed your son.
It's crazy that like they hit each other's bullets, or Cross does at least, but when it comes to just straight shooting, they miss like a lot. I was like, how does that work?
I love that.
and so how it like ends is like he goes to take down the fraternity, and Sloan, like Morgan Freeman's character, is like he learns that like he had been making hits for like profit, you know, and like lying about like the sheets or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he said that he did it because everyone in the fraternity's name came up eventually in the fabric or whatever. Mm-hmm. So that was the only way, because they would have all been dead if he like had kept moving out the assassinations. Which I guess if like fate is deciding like who kills people and these are bad people, ultimately they probably would come up eventually. Yeah, you know, and they would just kind of always be cycling out, I guess. Mm-hmm. But
I like when
so he like as like the villain or whatever, it kind of like made sense.
Yeah, it does.
But I like certain characters being like so committed to like the creed of this thing. Mm-hmm. You know, like his dad was. That's why he was like fighting against them. And then Angelina Jolie was, or like Fox was. Yeah. Because she kills everyone in that room with one bullet, which is fucking sick. And herself.
Goes perfectly around. Yeah. And herself.
So dope.
I love that scene unironically.
Yeah. It doesn't even fucking flinch.
So dumb. The bullet doesn't like lose its track or anything. Yeah. Its path.
And it has enough force to go through like 10 heads.
Yeah. And kill herself. Crazy.
So... You know, I don't think there's anything I disliked about this movie, honestly.
So I watched it because Sophie was like, let's watch a movie and go to bed. I'm like, okay, let's watch like Wanted or something. I knew I was going to watch it, but she fell asleep immediately and I knew that she would hate this movie. So I was like, I'm cool with this.
I like had my tablet ready to watch it while Sarah watched something else. I'm like, I'm going to watch a movie. She's like, you can put it on. I'm like, okay.
Sure?
And then she watched it. She didn't say anything about it, but I can tell
Probably not her
she probably
favorite.
didn't love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like definitely on the rewatch, you're like, this doesn't like hold up quite as well, but there's definitely good stuff in it, you know? And so one of my favorite things when like the movie and the book is good is just looking at the differences,
Yeah.
you know? And so it's just like,
Is that the case here?
I think they're both good.
Okay.
Anyway.
So far, wait, do you think movies better than comic? Because so far in my head, all the movies have been better than comics, which is not the norm for comic book movies in my head a lot of the time. But
no, I'll say the book's better,
wow,
in my opinion.
that's insane.
They are really fucking close, but I like the book
Ooh,
more.
another good scene in this movie is when he hits Chris Pratt with a keyboard and says "fuck you."
Yeah, and his tooth is the U.
Yeah, they don't have two U's on a keyboard. So
Got pulled out by the roots or whatever. Oh yeah, because the U was used already.
Yeah.
Very smart.
Very smart.
There's a lot of slow motion in this movie. Also, little Easter egg when Sloan goes to kill Wesley, like at his office job, he assumed like he went back. There's like a little name tag on his cubicle. It says J.G. Miller.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
I was like, oh, cool.
I didn't notice that.
I was like, finally, something.
Yeah, some sort of hint.
Yeah, so that was cool. And then like, so they didn't have that little thing where you can just erase your consequences or whatever, which I think makes sense. But like, there was like a newspaper that said like wanted, you know, on. I was like, that's a little on the nose, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
But anyway, good movie.
Good movie. Let's go to the poll list. Colon.
Shove in your box. The pull list, what did you shove in your box?
Daniel, DC Comics are back.
They sure are.
The terrors at night are gone.
Yeah, it's daytime now.
It is daytime now. So I picked
Everyone woke up.
everyone woke up. I picked up Green Lantern #3 today. And I'm trying not to pick up as many number ones, but I did pick up like 3 number ones today. Daniel, I picked up Daredevil by Saladin Ahmed and Aaron Cooter. Don't laugh.
Not good.
No laughing. It's just
I got it all out of my system.
Okay, good. And
I recorded it and edited it.
Batman, the one with gargoyles.
Gargoyle of Gotham.
Gargoyles by Grompa. Really excited about that. Raphael Grompa.
Grompa of Gotham.
Grompa of Gargoyles. So really excited about that one. And
Grompa of Grompa.
Gargoyles, Batman of Gotham.
Did you get Avengers Inc.?
No.
Okay.
What is that?
That's like the...
Is that the Hickman one?
No, that's the Marvel's like Human Target that Al Ewing's doing. It's got like the Vision on it. Do you remember when I told you about that?
I do. Don't care. I didn't remember at the time when I saw that, but I was like, don't care.
I'll read it and tell you how it goes. I'm going to get Creepshow #1. The horror book, hopefully. I'll just give that the first issue. And
yeah, I might have to go back.
See how that goes.
Pick it up.
I Hate Fairyland #9. I'm dangerously behind on that.
Yeah.
Danger Street #9. Also dangerously behind on that.
Yeah, I stopped.
I think I will like it if I just put the time into it, but I don't have like 5 hours, you know?
Yeah, it is a lot of reading. I read the first one and I was like, I don't know where this is going. It's probably going to be good though.
Yeah.
So
I think the concept is strong enough. Yeah.
Or a hardcover.
So I got those. And then maybe I'll see something else. But
Nice.
did you read anything?
Yeah. I finished that Distillery comic anthology thing.
Same.
What did you think? Some good stuff?
It was, really fun. I think I just liked that it was like 4 pages or whatever. You can kind of blow through it really fast.
I liked it.
Some I obviously like more than others.
Sure.
What one are you like most excited for?
I just like that Jock is like writing and drawing stuff.
Sure.
And
that's the one you're most excited for. What's that one called? That's the first one coming out, I think.
I don't know. I don't know what any of them are called, to be fair.
Okay, that was just announced.
But it seems like it's like Jock doing Dune or something.
Kind of, yeah.
And so I'm like, this is kind of cool.
Is that the one you're most excited about?
Is Christian Ward doing like an ongoing thing with Tynion?
Yeah, I assume so. The one about the nothing?
One about the
door?
Ghost?
Yeah, Ghost Door or whatever.
I don't know which one's my favorite. Now that you mentioned
my
this.
favorite one was probably the Joel Jones one.
That one was really strong.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I thought it looked incredible.
Who wrote that one?
I think she did.
She wrote Andrew?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, because normally she has like really thick lines and stuff.
Yeah, but this is much more on like the realism side.
Yeah. And
it was great.
thought it was great too. Yeah. The Jamie McKelvey one, pretty fun.
That's probably my second favorite one.
Yeah, it was like an interesting like futurism sort of concept type thing.
Yeah, this big like utopia kind of thing.
Yeah, random balls are just taking shit.
Yeah, freaking balls
showing up.
And like just like Jamie McKelvey on like in future alien world.
So good.
Amazing.
He looked like he was designing some like Destiny characters and stuff like that. So
yeah, the fact that he's writing it too just like boosts respect, you know.
I have no idea what that Elsa Charretier one was like about, but I like her style.
Yeah, I thought that was like,
it's very like Paul Dini / Darwin Cook.
Sure. Yeah, it looked very like cartoony and like almost like newspaper comic almost.
Yeah.
And then there's boobies at the end. So
there's boobies at the end, and I'm like, cool. What'd you think about the Scott Snyder Francesco Francavilla one?
I don't have anything nice to say.
I'm on a boat and my childhood room is in here. But and also my best friend.
The artwork is great. That's all I have to really say about it.
Same.
I'm just like, Scott Snyder is like a legend, but I feel like he executes every idea he has. Okay. And I don't think that's like always like a good thing. Mm-hmm. You know, I've read like all of his like comicsology originals, like at least the number ones, you know, and I get he has to like put out a lot of stuff for that for Scott Tober.
Yeah.
But
maybe don't.
It was just, some things are going to be for me, some things are not. And this one looks great, but I don't think I'll buy.
Okay.
I wish it was like they just did like these magazines like every month or something. I would do that.
Yeah. Every like 3 months.
Because it's not like
maybe every month for like $10. That's a lot.
Yeah. But these are premium comics, Nathan.
But this is how like mangas come out, right? Like the story's going to come out. So yeah.
Chapters.
I know they're trying to do that with Brave and the Bold kind of to see if that works.
I think it can work if you like everything in it, you know, not just like nitpicking it. Mm-hmm. So I think that's where it kind of falls short. But because like there was so many things in this and it feels hard to commit to like all of them. You know, I'm not going to, and I don't even think I like necessarily liked all of them or were intrigued by them all. Mm-hmm. Oh, what was that one with?
Oh, dude,
Rom V.
Was it Rom V and Lee Garbett?
Yeah,
the Lee Garbett one. I was like, it
was like
rules.
The future and like there's solar flares that make you forget stuff or whatever.
Yeah, I don't
know what the fuck was going on, but it looked great.
I was interested by that one too. Yeah,
that's like
I just remembered that one at like the same time as you. I could tell. But that one, I was like, I love Lee Garbett. Like, I want him to do more shit since
he doesn't do enough shit.
Yeah.
What was the thing he did after Skybound? Or not Skybound, Skyward.
Skyward, that's what it's called. He did a Doctor Strange thing.
Is that what he did with Donny Cates? No? Other Doctor Strange thing.
Other Doctor Strange, I think he killed him or something.
Okay. No, he didn't. Didn't he do like Champions or something?
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
But so anyway, I read that.
Yeah, that was fun.
I also read the first 2 issues of Big Game.
Ooh, what do you think?
After reading Wanted. Definitely read Wanted if you're going to read Big Game. And I hate saying that because I didn't really like Wanted. But like it
helps.
I think it makes Big Game better.
Sure.
But Rictus is like alive in it. And I don't know how that works.
I don't know.
So it doesn't really matter. But
dude,
I like it, and I like it.
It's really funny how it just kind of
it kind of works.
It kind of works.
But it's like there's some parts where
XZ is like helping Hit Girl. And I'm like, wow. You know?
I like how he says it too, and he's like, I'm Mr. Whatever, but you can call me Eggsy. And I'm like, that's the guy.
Well, the movie.
And I like how Kick-Ass is like writing to become the ambassador for America. And I'm like, this is kind of a fun idea. Did you read issue 2?
Yeah.
I think that was an issue 2.
Yeah, that's where the Eggsy thing was.
Yeah.
But the fact, issue 2, spoilers, but the fact he's just mowing down people like really, really soon. I guess it's like the second issue of this 5-issue series.
You got to start killing people this issue for sure.
But people that you've established this year.
Yeah. This
one. You know what? Actually, the South Korean one, like the leader, she probably has like a backup clone or something.
You think it was a clone? Because she had a clone in the ambassadors, huh?
Right. So she probably has a backup.
Oh, so now she's going to recruit Kick-Ass.
Yeah, probably a lot of people.
Yeah.
I was like almost like interested to read Prodigy because like he was in that. He's in the first 2 issues. I'm like, oh, maybe this is important. But then he gets killed in this one.
Yeah,
so
Chrononauts get killed in this.
I wish that I don't think like Nemesis should be this OP right now. because like he just had all their powers when the ambassadors are only able to have like 5 at a time.
I don't get the impression that he's going to continue having those powers, is he?
Yeah, probably not, because like, yeah, probably not. But like, just the fact that he's able to stop them so quickly, I guess he'd have to cut off the issue or something. But
yeah.
I was just like, okay.
Yeah, there goes 6 months.
But that was like the big shock value for that. I was hoping to understand the ambassadors more in this, because that issue seems so like rushed, or that series seems so rushed.
Yeah, I agree. I wish there was maybe like a 10-issue series of the ambassadors, a little bit more breathing room.
Yeah, or even
because it ends very quickly and abruptly, and so did the ambassadors in this issue. So
yeah, so now Nemesis is heading after the nightclub and Huck.
I like that Wesley recruited Nemesis.
That's smart, yeah.
And I'm like, this is kind of cool. So like Wesley and Fox are homies with Rictus now.
I guess. Seems. I didn't.
Because in the very, very beginning, you see Fox with Rictus in that initial group. So I guess they're just like, they're chill now. They're like, hey, sorry about that.
Yeah,
so that's like part of it that like doesn't really work. I don't really know what happened there. I assume they just squashed the beef at some point.
Or like Rictus knows Wesley can kill him at any moment.
Yeah.
You know, it's just.
He's like, you know what? Let's just be chill.
Yeah.
Huck is in it.
Was Huck in it? Like we saw him? I read,
or was that Superior?
I read issue 1 like 3 months ago.
Huck wasn't in
the first issue.
It might have been Superior. Whoever was talking to the kids.
Starlight.
Yeah. Sure. But they mentioned Huck.
Yeah.
So yeah, it works. I was skeptical.
Yeah.
And I know he's been hyping it up a lot, but I think it makes sense. So
yeah, I don't know if like anyone's gonna be like, I don't think this is like his end game, you know, but like
he's trying to make it that way for sure.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
See, even has game in the title, dude.
Yeah.
But like it'll just be like fun that he tried kind of thing.
Yeah. Like this will never be a book that I can like recommend to someone unless I know they've read like a lot of Mark Millar books.
Yeah. Or like someone that's new to comics. All right, read these 20 comics and then read this one. It'll be totally worth it.
Read these 20 comics and this shitty Wanted series and then read Big Game. Like I can only really talk to you about it. I can't talk to anybody else about this comic.
Yeah.
But there's some comics where it's like, hey, read this and we'll talk about it. But I can't do this with this book because it'll be like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
You know, so it's a fan service for like all of his stuff. So if you like his stuff, you'll like this, I think. But
it's cool to see like characters that he hasn't touched in like 20 years, like Wanted, you know?
Yeah. And it's just kind of entertaining to see him thread all of them together somehow.
Yeah, I think it's like he didn't necessarily expand too much on any of the universes since they're all like miniseries. So it's definitely a way to do it. And so far, so good.
Yeah.
I read Uncanny Avengers #1.
Okay.
And a little surprise in there, Nathan. They're
Thanos.
Penance.
What?
Yeah.
Shut up. Is he the big bad?
No.
Is he just in there at some point in the background?
No. It's like a girl.
Wow. Penance girl.
Penance girl.
No way.
Penancy.
Give me that comic right now. Penancy. So Penancy has lines?
Yeah. So that's Penance in this. I don't know if it actually relates to the Underpenance. Stop being sexist, Nathan.
I just want big spiky head.
That is a big spiky head. What are you talking about?
Oh, you're right.
Got him.
I want a big spiky mask.
Yeah.
Who's this by? Dugan Javier Guerrón.
Jared Duggan.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the book itself is like okay, but
tell me about Penance, or should I just read it and we'll talk about it?
If you want to read it, like literally, if you read that, you wouldn't get joy out of it.
Okay,
because Penance is in it. You know, it's just like a name drop kind of thing, and she's in that.
Are they referring to my Penance?
I don't think so. Like this is someone else. Like I don't know what.
That just reduces the chance that I get more Penance content.
Yeah. But maybe it's just there's some X-Men lore that I just like didn't know that could have happened prior to this.
Penance is not an X-Men.
Wasn't Speedball an X-Men? Yeah.
I don't think so.
Look it up.
He's a New Warrior, and I think those are X-Men. But hold on. I don't think anybody's ever Googled this. Robbie Baldwin, superhero, Marvel Comics, Steve Ditko. Really? Created by Steve Ditko?
Wow. Steve Ditko who created Penance?
First appeared in Amazing Spider-Man.
Does it say like species or anything?
They do not.
Does he have a Wikipedia page?
He does. For Robbie Baldwin, my goat.
I guess Gods is like not being pre-ordered a lot.
Yeah, it's apparently like a big failure because no one really knows what it is. I thought it started with that Uncanny Avengers, and I'm like, okay, I guess this is happening. But no, it's its own series. It's coming out later.
Yeah,
but no one cares.
I'll get it. I mean, yeah, it's just I guess it doesn't have a lot of pre-orders right now.
Yeah,
I don't know when the FOC is, but like,
but people are like, apparently a lot of comic shops are like,
this is like the lowest requested thing, or whatever.
Yeah, especially when they compare it to like House of X, Powers of X, Powers of 10, House of 10, Powers of X, whatever it was. I was really excited about that, and they threw me right off with the 21 part event. So
yeah,
I don't think he's an X-Men.
Okay, because what this book is that they're helping with like people that are trying to like kill mutants or whatever. I guess there's like a Krakoan man or something, and they're just trying to like stop him basically, and then trying to figure out who it is. But yeah, it's fine. And then I finished.
Wait, Steve Lieber? Is that the guy that did
One Star Squadron?
One Star Squadron?
Yeah.
He is a co-creator of Penance. What a goat.
Oh, sick, dude.
That's not his style at all, I thought, but God, we should read Frontlines. It's very long, but it's good.
And then I finished The Closet.
Good?
It is fine.
Okay.
It had such a promising number one, and like it ends and it like doesn't resolve. Cool. I guess that can kind of work for like horror, to be like, oh, the problem's not done and it just goes on or whatever. And then there's like metaphor in it or whatever. And I don't know.
Like a story.
I really wanted it to like be scarier, but like there's like a little monster thing in it or whatever. And you only see it like 3 times total, like once an issue, you know? But the art was great.
Cool.
That was like the best part about it. So I don't think that's going to be one that we review in October. So
we'll keep scouting.
Looking. Did you read anything else?
No, that was everything I read.
Did you watch anything else?
I didn't watch anything else, but I finished Jedi Survivor.
Ooh.
I talked about it last week. I thought I was about to end, and then it kept going. And so I finally finished it.
How many more hours later?
So after like Darth Vader, let's say.
Yeah.
Spoilers. There's like an hour and a half.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like super, super far.
Yeah.
But you see some cool stuff. So.
Okay.
I feel like you don't need Darth Vader.
No.
But they just felt like maybe they had to.
If there's a third one and Darth Vader's in it,
I'm going to be like, what the fuck?
I'm going to be like, come on, dude.
Like, give me somebody else.
This isn't a twist anymore.
Give me Kylo Ren.
Give me Darth Maul or something.
Yeah, Darth Maul would be cool too.
I think he's alive then. I don't know.
Who cares? Put him in. But it's fine.
I guess they'd have to resolve like the whole Bode thing, right?
Correct.
So there can be more.
Yeah, I think there's definitely room for like a solid like third game. But after playing this, I think this is like my favorite Star Wars thing ever.
Star Wars thing ever.
Star Wars thing. Anything Star Wars. Let me rate them for you real quick. Jedi Survivor. Okay. My top 3. Jedi Survivor, the C-3PO one shot.
Ooh, okay.
Number 2.
Quite a list.
But like pretty close.
One takes 15 minutes, one takes like 20 hours.
I know. And they're still about like pretty close in quality. And then number 3.
Fallen Order?
No. Probably like, Rogue One probably.
Yeah, I probably could guess that.
I think Rogue One is sick.
Very good. The fact that that's your third favorite Star Wars thing and you haven't finished Andor is funny.
Yeah, I keep falling asleep in Andor. I'll give it a shot.
Yeah,
but yeah, I really like it. You should finish it, and then we can talk about it.
All right, I'll try and do that.
It's not too much longer. Because you stopped at Darth Vader, right? You couldn't beat him because you suck. You're not a gamer.
Because I suck. I'm not a gamer.
You'll get it. I can help you, like your big brother.
I can't beat him.
Can you help me with the boss?
The big boss battle. I'll try. Like 10 more times, then lower the difficulty and then try some more.
Okay, that's fair.
So Sarah has this thing that she does where she just has like an urge to watch like the entirety of like a franchise kind of thing. It's kind of like binging, but for movies.
Okay.
Like a couple years ago, she did like Lord of the Rings, like all those.
Yikes.
She always does like Harry Potter every once in a while. Yikes. And she'll do like Twilight every once in a while. Things like that.
Okay.
But her most recent kick is Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay.
And we rewatched the first and second one, and those movies are incredible.
Yeah, they're sick.
They're so fucking good.
It's way down the hill from there, though.
They hold up so well, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, I was like, this movie's amazing.
Second one I remember being dope. First one.
The first one is such a great standalone movie.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, like it's like I think that's the best one, honestly.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think most people think that.
Is Davy Jones number 2?
2.
Okay. I like that one a
And
lot.
so that sets up like the third one, which I remember some of. It's
Are there
just,
5?
there's maybe 6. I saw 4 and I was like, that sucked. And then there's like 2 more after that, maybe.
Okay.
I think the last one, like Javier Bardem was like the villain or something.
Cool.
And so, yeah, we're watching those. I don't know if we'll get to the bad ones that don't have like Orlando Bloom in them.
You have to.
Maybe. Well, it's all up to Sarah, you know?
Okay.
And so I'm just hoping that one of these days she'll just land on Star Wars because she hasn't seen any of them except for A New Hope.
How would you do it?
I think I'd do like release order.
That's smart, I think.
Yeah, because that makes most sense. So like, because I think the in between quels, I do like
Original
4, 5, 6,
trilogy?
1, 2, 3, Solo and Rogue One, and then sequel if we happen to want to get to those. But that's 11 movies, so it's quite a commitment. She's done Marvel, so it's not.
I mean,
like
how many Harry Potter movies are there? There's like 9, right?
9.
But she likes those.
Yeah,
So that could be different.
I think she could like him, but it's just like the fandom and shit around it and all the media shit around it is what she doesn't like.
I have a plan
Do you?
for rewatching all the Star Wars movies. I'm just going to wait until I'm like pretty sad one day and then just like watch Star Wars.
So you want to be more sad?
I want to be more sad than I am currently.
You gotta push yourself to the edge?
I want something to happen and I'll be like, man, I'm pretty sad. And then just like watch Star Wars and eat ice cream or something.
Yeah.
And I think that'll make it better.
Yeah.
And I've thought about this for like years. So I haven't been really sad enough. I got like laid off from a job and like stuff.
And you're
then.
like, not that bad.
And I'm like, ooh, not yet. It'll happen though.
I'll like kind of nitpick now. Like the last couple of years, I've just like been like, I feel like watching this one. Like, who really wants to do like a rewatch? You know, like a full rewatch, you know? Because there's plenty that you don't want to revisit.
But it's interesting because I feel like you learn something different.
Yeah,
every
you'll
single time.
definitely be shit that you forgot about.
Yeah.
But it's more about like how you feel about him altogether. Be like,
Yeah,
oh,
that's true.
I enjoyed that. That was a good use of time, you know? So anyway,
Well, I'll cross my fingers for you.
thanks.
What are we reading next week?
What are we gonna read next week? Are we gonna do 300?
I'm down for 300.
Or we could do like V for Vendetta?
No, I haven't seen that movie actually.
Really? It's a good movie.
Yeah, that's what I hear. We'll save that one for next time.
Yeah, I was gonna do it for like the first week of November because he says like remember the 5th of November.
Yeah, we can do that. It's fine.
But it's like 300 pages. It's like 280.
Yeah, it's lengthy.
So it's pretty lengthy. But there's too much stuff coming out in November, so I think I'll just push it another year.
Okay, fair enough.
Because I'd rather read a Godzilla comic.
Okay.
Because that'd be so sick. And I'm like,
Have we done that? We haven't, right?
I haven't done a Godzilla comic.
yes.
I'm like scoping them out right now. And it's so much fucking fun. And there's so many.
Godzilla is the franchise that confuses me the most.
Did you know that John Layman did a Godzilla book?
Mm-hmm.
What's it called?
No, I don't. I didn't know that actually.
It's called Godzilla, Gangsters, and Goliaths. And it's like considered like one of like top 5 like Godzilla comics.
Top 5 Godzilla gangsters and Goliaths?
Gangsters and Goliaths, yeah. I think it's like some gangster gets like banished to like Monster Island or some shit.
Whoa.
And it just goes from there. I don't know.
Let's do that one.
No, because maybe eventually. But Dom's like a really big Kaiju Godzilla fan, so I want to like kind of put him on to like a good one.
Okay.
I think I found it, but I have to finish it.
Cool. Well, we'll look forward to that in November.
So 300 then?
300. How long is that one?
80 pages.
300.
300 it is.
300 it is, baby. I got to catch up on some comics, so.
Yeah. It'd be nice to have a breather.
Yeah.
Okay.
So thanks everybody for watching.
Thanks
first and
everyone for
foremost, I want to thank you guys for watching, the watchers first on YouTube, youtube.com/the Trade Waiters podcast.
Probably.
Look at our link tree. It's in our descriptions of episodes on the Twitter X's. I mean,
thanks for listeners too.
Thanks for listeners. Last.
That's the core fan base, I think.
Yeah. If you're listening to this, thank you.
Yeah, Linktree, like, follow, subscribe, stuff like that. Email us at tradewaiterspod@gmail.com. Tell us
good
what horror things. We're done with the comics adaptation month.
Weird crossovers.
We love them. Dude, weird crossover month?
Weird crossover month would be fucking... If we could just do John Layman books.
All his like bizarre crossover books.
Yeah, he's got a lot, actually.
He's just got to come on for like a month.
Yeah.
He's going to live here for a month.
Lock him for a month straight. He already does live here. He's just got to come over.
No, lives in my house.
Yeah. Just up here.
Lives in my office.
In this hot room.
Yeah. Keep him in a cage. But
and just like other good things to read, we'll get to them eventually. We're still working through
a few. Need recommendations for show. All right. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.